Welcome to Thunder Bay Live. I'm here today with the Honorable Keith Hobbs, Mayor of Thunder Bay. And we have an exciting show on Thunder Bay Live. Keith, first of all, welcome.
Thanks a lot, Aldo. Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to have you here too. And we got a lot of things to talk about. So I'm going to jump right into it, okay? Let's talk about the budget really quick, because there's other things that are obviously you're in the news for, and we'll touch on those things later. But the budget itself, what do you think about the budget?
I'm actually extremely pleased with the budget. We're starting off at 3.07 tax levy increase, which where it was a couple months ago, we're up around 6%. So we've really brought it down. Kudos to our city administration and finance department for working so hard on that. In the last 4 years, we've cut $10.7 million from our budget. We've cut jobs. We've got out of we've divested ourselves from the seniors' home business, which gave us the ability to lop off a whole pile of jobs as well there. So we've been listening to the people. They've told us that we need to cut staff. We have done. But at the same time, we're hearing from the public in a very, very loud voice that they don't want us to cut services. So it's a real tough balancing act, and I think hats off to council and to administration for the budgets they brought in. I brought it up at budget meeting earlier, where I made a comment, and we'll talk about that. That in the 4 of the 6 years that I've been mayor, we brought in budget levy or tax levy increases of 2% or less. 4 out of the 6 years, there was 2 years where we brought in levy increases of around 3%. But I mean, we had a flood. We've had homicides like crazy, where the police budgets have gone out of whack. And, all things considered, to bring in budgets 4 out of 6 years at 2%, to me is phenomenal. Given that the public want the services, they want their snow, streets and sidewalks plowed, they want their garbage pickup, they want everything, they want Cadillac services, and sometimes on a Volkswagen budget.
Okay, well, let's get to that comment, and we'll talk about that right now. Kiss my grits. You said at council. You want to clarify what you meant and what brought on that frustration? Because I could tell you were frustrated.
Yeah, it is frustrating. Social media is always frustrating me, and some of the phone calls and comments and emails that you get, like, it's almost like, geez, Mayor, you take pleasure in raising my taxes. I pay taxes too. I pay $6,000 property taxes a year. I don't like paying taxes, but it's something that you have to do. And that comment just popped out. I was thinking of Flo from Mel's Diner and Alice. And, sometimes things just pop out of your mouth. And I don't regret it, because it was said in jest, and I wasn't targeting anybody in particular. But we have so many bloody whiners in this city that, they want the status quo. They don't want to see us grow. Everything that we do as a council is criticized, and it's a hardcore group of people. It's not the average citizen. So,
well, that's the thing. It's not the average citizen that's out there. I think you're right. There is a small vocal group, but I mean, criticism. I know you don't mind criticism. People, as a councillor and you as a mayor, we get criticized all the time, and that's fine. I think that's fair. But when they take it to a different level or try to blame you for everything that possibly can go wrong. Yeah, I can see you getting frustrated.
Yeah, and there's a lot of personal stuff, jabs at myself and my family. And I don't mind taking criticism as the mayor for anything that we do as a council and any decision we make. People have to remember the mayor's only one vote out of 13. And a lot of times people think, it's all the mayor's fault. You know what, I'll take it. I've got broad shoulders. But when it gets personal, it gets to your family, and your kids and your wife start telling you that they're being attacked. That's crossing the line. I will never tolerate that. So people like that can kiss my grits.
Okay. Well, and that's fair enough. I think that's fair enough. If they're attacking your family, fair enough. That's okay. I got no problem with that. Now, Keith, obviously in the paper yesterday, there was and you don't have to talk about it. You can say whatever you want. There was an article regarding you suing a prominent lawyer in town. Any comment at all, or no comment because you're not allowed? Could you just, or can't say nothing? What do you want?
I mean, I asked the Chronicle Journal what the source of that was, and they wouldn't tell me, because I certainly didn't give it to the media. That's an issue that is before the courts, and I don't really want to comment on it. All I will say is no good deed goes unpunished, because my wife and I were responsible for bringing victims forward. And again, the social media clobbered us. Clobbered me in particular. for being in the presence of that person. I was there for a lawful purpose. My wife was there for a lawful purpose. Victims are now being protected by the courts, and someone's in custody. So I think it was a job well done. I mean, that was my former career. I was a police officer for 34 years, and when I saw something wrong, I brought it to the authorities, and again, being criticized and brutalized in the media for that. I'm not going to apologize ever for protecting people.
Well, welcome to Facebook, welcome to the social media, right?
It's just disgusting. People need to get a life and get out of their mother's basements and do something productive with their life instead of just slamming people for doing good work.
And that's the sort of scary part about things. When you see a video, you're only seeing one side of the story, or what is a perception. But not very many people get to actually hear the other side.
Well, one of the posters said he was chief of police when this guy's wife disappeared. He must have covered it up. Like, how ridiculous. First of all, I was never chief of police, so get your facts straight. And I would never cover up a disappearance of a person. Yeah, it's some of the stuff that's out there is so far-fetched. Somebody said I was drunk. I didn't even have a drink in my hand. I wasn't drinking that night. I don't drink when I'm driving, and I was driving that night. So it's just wild what's out there, and people just can make up lies and with impunity because they're hiding behind a keyboard. Those people are cowards, and I don't mind calling them that. They're nothing but cowards. Yeah, I'm so sick of social media in this city.
I won't get into that case at all because eventually things are going to come out, and I'd rather have the courts give us both sides of the story and let the courts decide what's right, what's wrong, and what happened. I don't want you to get in trouble or anything like that.
Definitely.
Keith, running for mayor again, are you going to do that, or what do you think?
Chances are slim to none.
Okay.
I hate politics, I really do. I got into this job to hopefully move the city forward, and I think with the help of council, we've done that. We've seen record growth last year, record assessment growth. We've seen the downtown north flourish. I wish we could do something more with this end of town, and we're seeing it. We're seeing it come back a bit slowly, too slowly for my liking. Things move at a glacier pace in politics to try and get the upper levels of government to fund certain things. We've seen funding cuts, OMPF funding cuts. We've seen what's happened with our assessment. I won't get into that because I know you hate it.
I'll do a documentary on that one.
Yeah. But it's so frustrating, the pace of things that move. Like, I've been trying to get Costco here for 6 years. I sent the vice president of Costco a letter 2 weeks ago. Haven't heard an answer. The event center, I firmly still believe that at least a new hockey rink would be great for the downtown and bring some vibrancy, more vibrancy, because it is already a vibrant area now. And I think it would be great to have all those amenities down, near the waterfront and in the downtown business improvement area, and that's frustrating where that's gone. No funding from the feds. We tried for a youth center to help kids, not only Indigenous kids but non-Aboriginal kids, and we didn't get funding for that from the feds. And you see other communities like Moncton just got a new hockey rink, have a professional team attached to it.
Wow.
Winnipeg Jets hockey team, professional hockey team, just got their practice pads paid for by partly by the feds. Iverwin Stadium, which is now Tim Hortons Stadium in Hamilton Tiger Cats, a professional team, now have a brand new facility, yet we can't get federal funding. There's something really wrong here. So those are the frustrations of being a mayor, and our infrastructure deficit. I think we've done a lot of work, good work on roads. If you look at our major thoroughfares that we're working on, the Junot Golf Links corridor, Balmoral Street, Memorial and May, Cumberland Street, we're doing that work. But you wouldn't think that we were by the comments that are out there. Like, people want roads, and that seems to be the big focus of citizens. Well, I want roads to something and somewhere. I don't want roads to nothing and nowhere.
Actually, in the last report, I think 7 out of 10 roads were good or better than all Ontario in terms of its standards. So actually, the roads are doing very well.
Oh, I had the mayors of Sault Ste. Marie, Sudbury, Timmins, and North Bay here last summer, and they all said, your roads are golden. Like, ours are crappy compared to yours. And I said, really? You wouldn't know it. But
Keith, I want to talk about something else. Now, a lot of people out there say, you know what, I don't see the mayor anywhere. I don't see him on TV, etc. They don't know that there's sort of a boycott by TB Source against you personally.
Well, yeah, this happened 2 years ago, and I still am out very much to a lot of events, and I'm in the public. I spent the day over at Fort Island First Nation on community economic development piece that we're doing nationally, which is great stuff. I go to lots of charitable events, and unfortunately, the powers that be have decided not to cover me or interview me. And, I'm okay with that on a personal level, but I still believe that, things like I was at an event for promoting Thunder Bay Boys and Girls Club,
Yeah.
and they wouldn't cover me or talk to me. And I think the mayor has a lot of clout when it comes to
Sure
promoting
does. Yeah.
businesses, promoting charitable organizations and things like that. So it's very childish. We've met with Dougal Media, and they just refused to talk to me. However, they did want a statement from me yesterday about the...
Yeah, if something bad,
anytime
yeah,
it's controversial, of course,
Yeah.
they want a statement or something, but when it's to promote Boys and Girls Club or Shelter House or whatever, they won't interview me. They won't put a camera in front of me. But it's very childish, and I hope the next mayor, well, I know they will interview the next mayor, whoever that is, but I'm going to caution the next mayor, don't ruffle their feathers because you'll pay for it.
Well, I think you're doing the right thing. I don't think you should be held ransom to an organization that thinks they got all the power in the city and controls the media.
Well, I have a
That's
great
not
rapport
fair.
with the media. I always have one. I was spokesperson for Thunder Bay Police. I was very cooperative with the mayor, and I dropped everything to give them interviews. And I'm the same way as mayor. I think to get the community events and business, attract business and prop businesses up on TV and charitable organizations. I think that's the job of the mayor.
Sure.
And they're only cutting somebody else's throat, not mine. It doesn't affect me personally.
I'm sorry to hear that, and I'm sorry for
that's
the
okay.
organizations that are out there that are suffering because of that. Keith, is there anything you look forward to if you don't become mayor? Is there anything you would look forward to? Is there something you're going to do when you retire?
I may sit on some boards. I might find some part-time work or something. I'm not the type of person that can sit idly by. I'll have given 42 years of service to the city of Thunder Bay. I think that's lots with my policing and 8 years as mayor. And I don't regret anything that I have done. I never do. This was a great learning experience for me. I'll tell you right now, I would never recommend anyone to take on the job of a mayor. Let alone a counselor. I mean, you guys probably don't get it as much.
We don't get as much as you do.
But I would never recommend this job to anybody. I admire them. I get paid $80,000 a year for 100 hours a week.
Yeah.
When you do the math, it's about $4 an hour. Not that you do it for the money, because you know that very well. But a little more support from the public would be really nice. So I'm hoping that whoever the next mayor is, they get that public support. Because I haven't felt it at all.
Well, in all fairness, when I'm out and about, a lot of people kind of judge you based on what the media portrays. Mm-hmm. And quite frankly, the media, if it bleeds, it leads. So if anything negative happens, they like to say, hey, you know what? That kind of draws attention. But in all fairness, this man here, whether you like him or whether you don't, is doing public service and takes a beating every single day. I know that. I hear it. It's unfortunate because they don't see the good things that have happened. Keith, I got to tell you, for public service, you said 42 years as a police officer. First of all, I want to thank you for doing that because that's fantastic. Any police officer out there doing a job, whether you like the police or don't, they got a tough job to do. So I certainly admire that part of it. Being a mayor and understanding what it's like from both sides as a citizen and now as a counselor, what I see what goes on behind the scenes and the amount of things you have to put up with, I got to say, it is a super, super tough job. And I know a lot of people.
Run?
I would never run. I said, forget for mayor, forget it. Let somebody else do that. But I just want to say, thank you for doing that, and thank you for coming here today. Talking to the public on Thunder Bay Live, and letting them know how you feel. And we'd like to have you back as a guest because we're here for the public to give them all sides of the media. I know Rob Ford was controversial. I know he had a tough time with the Toronto Star, but the Toronto Star never stopped covering him. They still covered him.
Yeah.
They still interviewed him, because that's what professionalism is all about.
Yeah.
You have to present both sides. So Keith, thank you for being here again. I
Aldo.
appreciate
Appreciate
it.
it.
Thanks for what you're doing for the city. Thunder Bay Live, Mayor Keith Hobbs, whether you like him or whether you don't, the guy speaks his mind, says what he's going to do, and does it. And you know what? You got to give him credit for that. So have a great day. If you don't like him, run for mayor. Anyway, take care. Thunder Bay Live. Have a nice day. We'll have other interviews with more people. Take care.